Hey, before we start our podcast today, Martin and I would like to speak with you about a serious topic that has affected both of us, but more importantly, affected the lives of a family in Maine. Off the coast of Australia, an osprey containing 26 Marines went down. 3 of those Marines did not make it back. One of those Marines was First Lieutenant Cross, Benjamin Cross. Both Martin and I attended the Virginia Military Institute. Benjamin Cross graduated as a senior when we were freshmen. Benjamin Cross gave us great guidance while we were in golf company together, and which is a genuinely great person, citizen soldier, and tried to give us guidance while we were there.
Benjamin Cross was one of the first people and one of the most important people that Kevin and I met while we were at VMI. There wasn't a day, there wasn't a week that Ben was not training us and training our entire company. He was not only a great leader, he was just a great man. He always preached about loyalty and brotherhood and strength, and because of him, I have no doubt in my mind that we are better people today. And we just wanted to extend our sincerest apologies and sympathy to not just the family that has been affected by this tragedy, but the entire VMI and Marine Corps community.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to us speak about First Lieutenant Cross. Please keep the family in your thoughts and prayers, and please enjoy the pod. Hey, I'm Kevin Pettit.
And I'm Martin Frazier.
And we are Last. On today's show, we're going to be speaking about the Community Shield and the Super Cup over the past week.
We're going to talk about the predictions going into the opening weekend of the Premier League season. Please tell me you're hyped.
Martin, have you ever been touched so gently you cried?
No, I can't say I have. Have you?
I think there's been once. And it's also now. So I think now.
So
I think
twice.
It's Christmas. It's Christmas Eve.
You're
for
crying.
It's
Tears are coming down.
It's beautiful. Everything was beautiful, and nothing hurt. That's how it feels right now.
My life has purpose again.
What have we been doing for the past couple months?
Drinking.
Baseball?
Fuck that.
No. Baseball's been on. It's been quite the dry spell. Anyway, moving on. We'll be grading the different transfers and how each team did over the transfer market.
We're going to talk about this new rule in English football going into next season. And that's about it for today. I can't wait for y'all to check out our show and get ready for the opening weekend and watch Manchester United start to run away with the cup. After week 1, we're already going to dominate. We're going to crush the opposition.
All right, I'm just going to stop this right here. I think you're going to get ready for Jose Mourinho's line of excuses. I don't think we're going to be ready for any domination.
If Fellaini's playing, he has a valid excuse. That's all I'll give him.
Well, he has Matic now, so I don't think he really has much of an excuse, does he?
He played Fellaini in the Super Cup. Ugh.
Oh, that was pretty poor. But we want to start off this show with a certain segment that we've come up with is English slang of the pod. Yes, that's correct, Martin. English slang of the pod. And on the first English slang, we're going to start off with fit bird.
What is a fit bird?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Martin. A fit bird is not what you think. It's not a jacked, like Robin. It's not like a really, like, when you think of fit bird, like fit in America is like in shape, physically like fit. Is that what you think?
I'm thinking bald eagle, guns, rippling muscles.
Just huge muscles.
Oh, yeah.
No, a fit bird in English slang means a hot chick. So, if you are an American girl and you go over to England and you're at a pub or you're at the club and you hear a couple of lads standing around and you hear them say, "Hey, you're a mate, check out that fit bird," don't be alarmed. You just received a compliment. I mean, you can interpret it any way you want. You can say, you can be like, that's kind of sexist, or you can accept that as, wow, he thinks I'm really attractive. I'm a fit bird.
There's also a third option. You can think he meant that you're just a jack fucking bird.
And you can think that. What he's trying to say is he's attracted to you. And that's
attracted to fit birds.
Either way, that's the British slang of the week. I hope you enjoyed that. We hope to keep that as a reoccurring segment. Let us know what you think. So we'll start off with the Community Shield. I like to think that Alexis Sanchez is using Adam and Humber, his beautiful dogs, and they're eating off that Community Shield. What do you think?
A frisbee. Not a frisbee. See, my money would be on he's using the Community Shield trophy as a frisbee, throwing it in his backyard. But I could totally see it laid out on Alexi's kitchen
bunch of treats.
floor.
You could keep all his treats. You could keep all his doggy toys on there. It'd be perfect. Mertesacker can use it as a dish. I feel like the great big German uses it to put his giant meals on because he is our BFG, our big fucking German. So yeah, the Community Shield. It was pretty interesting. Arsenal played really well. Like after coming off the FA Cup win, I'm like, as an Arsenal fan, I was thinking, okay, like we're totally gonna bottle this.
Yeah,
I thought Antonio Conte was totally gonna be like, all right, that was the one slip up, and you know what? We didn't goof up. That was awesome.
And I'll tell you what, Arsenal dominated them in the FA Cup. They beat them at their own game for the entire 90 minutes. And I only caught clips and highlights of this game, and from what Kevin has told me in those highlights, Arsenal dominated again.
Yeah, I have to say the midfield, like that was my biggest worry going into the season. Granit Xhaka has been a sore thorn in my side all last season because I read so much about this guy. I didn't really watch him when he was Borussia Mönchengladbach. That one?
Also known as Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Yes, thank you. I like mine better. Anyway, he got so many red cards last year. He was constantly just doing stupid tackles, studs up, going in like an idiot. And he dominated that game. N'Golo Kante did do really well, but Granit Xhaka had 90% pass accuracy. His long balls, I know you love Paul Pogba. I think his long balls are still better, but Granit Xhaka is looking really... He was a great... And him and El Neni, I was like, El Neni.
Jesus.
El Neni has had his points where he's played really well. Lacazette, I wish he had the ball more. That was one of my criticisms. Like, if they would have gave him the ball and let him do more, I think they should have fed him the ball more. I think Mesut Ozil is going to have a lot of fun with Lacazette.
See, that's exactly what I was going to say because Mesut finally has that outlet pass. Laka can fucking beat defenders.
Oh, he can do those nice inside runs.
Absolutely, and Ozil is finally going to have service darting through the middle of the field. So I think it's going to be super exciting to see.
I honestly think this is the first striker of that sign since Henry. I'm not saying he's Henry. Don't put me on some blog like Kevin Petter compares Lacazette to Thierry Henry, the king of North London, please. Yeah. No, what I'm saying is we haven't had a striker who can do those inside runs. We have Giroud. Giroud can't do it. He holds up the ball. He's just supposed to be strength. But back to the Community Shield, there was a lot of standout players for Arsenal, and I will give Chelsea credit. They really hit us in the beginning of the second half with that early goal by Victor Moses. I was like, here we go. Typical Arsenal.
Back to disappointment.
And then there was a lot of weird things that happened in the game. You had Williams' dive, which he received a yellow card for, which
I love.
Looking back on, I've looked at this play a few times. I think it wasn't a penalty for sure. That can be decided. It was definitely not a penalty, but it was really close. I don't know. William kind of looked like he went down a little too hard, like a piano fell on his back a little too hard, but then again, I don't know if that warranted a yellow card. It was very close. I think the referee, in his defense, it's a split decision. But I think he did a really good job handling that.
For our viewers who can't see, I am currently looking at Kevin with hatred in my eyes.
Pure fire in his eyes.
Pure fire. I think he deserved a yellow card. I think he deserved a red card. I watched that flop a couple times. And he clips his own ankles, and he goes down like Per Mertesacker put a knife in his back.
Yeah, that big German was coming for him. Speaking of which, Per got bloodied up during that game. He got Gary frickin' Cahill came at Per Mertesacker like he had just slept with his wife like John Terry. I swear.
Yeah, well, that's bringing up some old blood.
That is some bad memories I just brought up there. Oh man. Anyway, he was poor man.
Poor man.
Anyway. Yeah, Mertesacker covered in blood. I thought I was
He got stitches, didn't he?
I think I was watching a John Wick movie. That man was literally soaked in blood. He got taken off, and Sead Kolsonik, who I will say is one of the best highlights of that game. A tank coming up the left wing, literally just destroying the left wing. Like I was like, he's just going to take it to goal. I thought it was like when I saw Marcelo do a couple goals last year. I'm not saying he's Marcelo, but how Marcelo can just run up the left wing and just totally dominate like that wing as a left back or like a left wing back. Whatever. However, I don't know if
I don't know this new formation of 3-4-3. I hate it. I think I'm pretty sure I do. It's not traditional football.
We've been doing it really well though. We've
been doing it horrendously.
I think there was a lot of criticism of Wenger last year, and he was like, they were like, he doesn't change. He's never gonna, and he did, and we've had a lot of success, especially with Rob Holding too. Rob Holding, what a steal! Like $2 million we bought him for. Like that was like with the transfer market now, that is a steal. Like, but yeah, so. Then there was Pedro's two-footed challenge, which he got an immediate red card. I don't think it was malicious. I think it may have been a harsh red card. As an Arsenal fan, I don't care, because immediately following that, Granit Xhaka made a great swinging ball into the box. And, of course, the tank, who I was just speaking about, Sead Kolsonik, which I'm really excited for commentators to be like, here's Kolsonik coming up the wing. I don't know if they're going to call him Sead or Kolsonik. I really hope it's Kolsonik, because it's fun to say. Had a great header, his first goal in Arsenal colors.
On his debut, right?
Yes, on his debut.
I'll tell you what, when I first saw him, like, I have never seen this kid play before. He is Lukaku big. This dude is a force coming up the left wing.
Give me what he's eating. He is massive.
He is a ginormous man, and I'll tell you what, I'm excited to see him play because somehow he has the speed and strength at the same time, and he is really great at tackling in the defense, but at the same time, he poses such a threat in the box. It's going to be really interesting to see how Arsenal uses him.
And we haven't really had those big... we now have like Mustafi.
Yeah.
We've had Per, but he wasn't even playing last year.
No.
But now we have Koscielny, Sead, and Mustafi in the box.
And Rob Holding.
Yeah.
He's a giant guy, too.
Yeah. He's all right.
I'm giving him an extra 5 inches solely because he said to Diego Costa, "You're a fucking nut." And I love that.
That is 100% accurate.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, so going on, and then it went to penalties, which was the weirdest. They're doing.
My god!
They're also doing the new penalty setup where 2 players from the one team will go, and then 2 of the other. It's not back and forth anymore.
Is that across all the leagues?
I read a report the other day. I think they're trying it out.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Me and Martin were sitting there watching this penalties, and we're like, "All right, here comes." Oh, wait, there's another Arsenal player going, and then Chelsea go like. Oh, another Chelsea player is going. That was weird to start off with. This is a very peculiar game. And then it gets even weirder because look who comes up to take the first penalty. Thibaut Courtois, the goalkeeper for Chelsea. So let me put this out here. We know it's a Community Shield, but Antonio Conte, can you take this a little bit seriously? You come out here with your goalkeeper, and then after the game he comes out and says he's one of the best at taking penalties.
Really, man?
I know you're defending your player, but like I know you're trying to swing your big old whatever Italian stallion, but like what I'm trying to tell you is don't. And he blasted it so hard. He wasn't even looking. Like he blasted it
right over the wall. It didn't even look like he ran up. It looked like a complete panic move. But my favorite part happened next when Alvarado Morata stepped up to the plate. First chance in front of goal for his new team, in front of his new fans, and he fucking scrubs it.
He hits the post. And Petr Cech, if you look at his record at saving penalties, it's really poor.
It is.
So honestly, like any of the Chelsea players probably could have put it anywhere. And luckily for us, they just totally missed. Like they definitely and it's just funny because it's Petr Cech's former club, and he really didn't have to do much. Like and then Drew did the last penalty, and you know what? Our Wembley record, Arsenal's Wembley record, is out of we've won like the past 13 games at Wembley, like
because
in a row.
Keep winning FA Cups.
Yeah, we can't stop. That's our shit. People are like, what does Arsenal fuck with? We're like, we FA Cups. Like, they're like the Prem. They're like, nah, FA Cups. And you know what? Like we ended the season last year with Silverware FA Cup. We start this season.
So
I'm still saying
basically Manchester United.
Oh,
last year,
yeah.
So welcome to 6th place.
Yeah, here we go. Still banking on 4th, maybe 5th, but we'll see. But yeah, that was a Community Shield.
So moving on to the Super Cup, which happened this past Tuesday. Before I say anything else, Manchester United was god awful, and Real Madrid just grew better and better as each minute went past. We had a period of a good 5 to 10 minutes at the start of the game where we actually looked like we could hang with the big boys. And that was immediately not true. They bullied our team. The midfield absolutely dominated. The midfield of Casemiro, Isco, Cruz, and Modric are second to none in the world. They are the best midfield trifecta, or I guess
group.
They were able to absolutely dominate the game. They were able to set the tempo. They were able to send all these through balls, just destroying our defense. Chris Smalling, take a vacation, okay? It was horrendous. And then when they scored twice, I was like, this is over. And then I flicked it back on in like the 50th minute, just in time to see Lukaku whiff a sitter right over the bar. So that was fun to see. But then we were able to pull one back by Lukaku actually putting one in. It was just a very depressing experience.
The only thing, I didn't watch the game. I got all my information from Mario and a lot of hate about the Man United game. The only thing, that detail that stuck out for me is because Isco scored the winning goal, and then the information that came out about the Man United scout saying that in 2013 he was scouting Isco and said, he doesn't seem like a United player. He had too much of a big head. That guy, he's not working for Manchester United anymore. How much, he's definitely working for, probably Hull now or someone in the championship. He might be in League 2. I'm not sure where he is, but what a whiff.
All right, I'll back him up a little bit. He whiffed hard. Don't get me wrong. But I will say, up until January of this past year, Isco wasn't performing to this degree. Under Zidane, Isco has improved so much. And since January, he's just been getting better and better. He's taken Gareth Bale's starting spot, and he is now the center focus of that midfield. He's that attacking portion of the midfield. So I'll tell you what, I think Isco is doing better than anyone could have ever thought of. So I'm excited to see how he progresses and if he becomes a superstar. So that'll be very cool to kind of keep track of.
Yeah, so that was pretty much the Super Cup. So let's move on to predictions. Absolutely. We're going to be speaking about the weekend. It starts tomorrow. We're going to be getting out of work and going immediately to the closest pub to go watch Arsenal versus Leicester, the Foxes, the 2 years ago champion. Wow, that was hard.
Poor.
That was hard to say. 2 years ago, just two champion ago.
A champion ago. XX champion.
XX champion. I like that.
Double X.
Double X. Anyway. So we have Arsenal.
Triple X.
So we have DMX. So we have Arsenal versus Leicester. I'm going Arsenal.
It's going to be.
It has to be, right? You come off the Community Shield. You've added everywhere you need. Alexi's not playing. That's huge.
That's confirmed.
That's confirmed. But I don't
think could play though.
Metsit's probably going to play. But I honestly, in the Community Shield, I love the partnership, which I didn't think I would, is Iwobi and Danny Welbeck. They worked really well together with Lacazette at the top. I thought that was a good partnership. I think Alexi is obviously a way better Iwobi, but I loved Iwobi last year, and I wish he played more, which I don't know why he didn't. Obviously, Alexi kind of fills in that left wing, but moving on to Leicester, they haven't really added too much. Got Iheanacho.
They got Iheanacho, which is a signing I really like because that's going to free Jamie Vardy and Iheanacho to basically do whatever they want on the pitch. All they have to do is sprint, and they're going to beat 8 out of 10 defenders. So it's going to be up to Danny Drinkwater to supply them with these cutting balls. But if they can somehow break that defense of Arsenal down, which I do not see them really coming close to actually achieving, but if somehow they're able to send a long ball through and they can latch on to Vardy or Iheanacho, that's really the only danger that I see.
My concern is, what is going on with Mahrez? There's been so much speculation about Mahrez.
Is he going to Roma, or is he going to Arsenal, or is he staying put? Because I know there's been reports saying he doesn't want to go to Roma, but wants to leave Leicester.
There's been many reports. I thought he would have left last year as well with N'Golo Kante. After winning PFA Player of the Year, he was just trying to do a service to the fans, saying he didn't want to be seen as a money grubbing piece of shit. Obviously Mahrez, I feel like he's done his time. He needs he realizes he's on a poor team.
He needs that next step.
He wants to go win more championships. He's gotten a taste for winning the Premier League, especially with Leicester, which will go down as the greatest sports accomplishment in my lifetime that I can remember. You'd probably be like, oh, I mean, this is the same as like a minor league team winning the World Series. You don't understand. Leicester winning the championship and us, Martin and I, being next to each other, watching it happen, it is like Alabama winning the Super Bowl. This is, which you're like, oh, Alabama would get crushed by the Browns. This is literally like, I know, the Browns. What I'm trying to say is that was the greatest sporting accomplishment because literally their roster was probably worth like what, $20 million, if that.
If that.
And I'd probably even less. And then
they barely escaped relegation the year prior to that.
Oh yeah.
And they fired their coach who led them out of relegation. No one expected any success. They expected them to just be in a relegation battle again. And Claudio Ranieri somehow was able to transform this team to the height of dilly ding dilly dong.
Dilly ding dilly dong. Yeah. Man of great turtle words.
R.I.P.
So we're going with Arsenal on this one. I think we can both agree on that one.
All right, next one. This is going to be good. All right.
I know who you're going to pick.
Do you?
Yes. Go.
Okay. Go. Okay. So the next game is Watford versus Liverpool. I'm picking Watford. Liverpool is absolutely horrendous. Liverpool's record against the bottom 6 teams in the Premier League last year was absolutely terrible. And you know what? They are going to do the exact same thing this year. I think that they will lose 1-0 or 2-1 on a lucky Watford goal that could have been easily taken care of if they addressed the problems in their goalkeeping situation and their defensive situation. I think they're starting Matip and Lovren as center back.
Woof.
I'm
going to go with Liverpool. I had my season prediction in the last pod. I picked Watford to go down. They did just add Andrew Gray Andre Gray. And that adds more attacking firepower. I just think with Liverpool's front four, if they can hold on to Philippe Coutinho, which they just rejected another bid, so I feel like that is showing ambition by Liverpool. If they can hold on to Coutinho, that front four is amazing. I just feel bad for the Liverpool players because they haven't addressed the problem in the back. If anything, I think it's going to be the front four dominating the entire game, and then just, like Martin was saying, a stupid slip-up by the defense, Lovren, own goal. And I think it's going to be Liverpool. Please, Liverpool, just do it. Just come on. You guys got to figure it out and get out of this losing to the bottom team. So
Liverpool from me, no you do not. Come on, you moose wasps. Win this game.
Whatever Watford symbol is. Is it a moose? Is it the Hornets? They have an identity problem. So then we have Southampton, Swansea. And just to be real quick, we're not going to spend too much time on some of the mid-table lower teams. Like NBA teams don't spend a lot of time talking about the Phoenix Suns. There's a reason. If we were an NBA podcast, we'd be talking about the Cavaliers, Golden State, Boston, San Antonio, Houston Rockets, the Spurs, not Tottenham, obviously. Fuck them. But what I'm trying to say is, apologies to all our Southampton listeners, but so Southampton, Swansea, who do you have?
This is difficult. Southampton still is kind of in a turmoil because of their coaching situation, so I'd have to give the edge to Swansea, solely because I think Paul Merson is a fantastic coach. And
Paul Clement.
Thank you. Paul Clement is a fantastic coach. And if they can hang on to Gylfi Sigurdsson, then I think they are going to have a fighting chance in every game that they have. So I think they'll be able to beat Southampton.
I have a great place in my heart for Swansea, and I'm going to pick Swansea as well. I think they can keep the Icelandic wizard that is Gylfi Sigurdsson and the Spanish lion who is Llorente. I think they can beat Southampton. I think Southampton's going through a coaching change. Mm-hmm. They're trying to figure out who they are, what they're doing. They're trying to go through. Virgil van Dijk is Virgil van Dijk put in his transfer.
Request. That situation is very odd because he's been linked with all these top clubs, and reports have come out that he's being shunned in training. But it doesn't look like Southampton's going to actually let him leave. So I'm really interested to see how that pans out.
Yeah, it really depends on what Southampton are aiming to do. I can't really see him at Chelsea because the reports have always been that he's going to be going to Liverpool. But Yeah, we'll see. I obviously had a huge beef with Southampton in our last pod. If you didn't hear, I'm beefing hard with Southampton. We got some problems. If Childish, or what's his name, Chance the Rapper, we ain't got no problem. We ain't no problem with me.
It's Southampton.
Except we do have problems, Southampton. I have huge problems with Southampton. But if you want to hear that, listen to episode 2 of the pod and
check it out. See why you hate Southampton.
See why I hate Southampton. So moving on, West Brom, Bournemouth.
Champions. I don't even know.
I'll take Cherries. West Brom's going to literally do like their normal thing. They're going to just try and get balls into the box, long balls, and try and get a cross in, and just we know how.
I have a soft spot for Bournemouth. I really like Bournemouth for no reason.
They had Jack.
I think that's kind of why
I love Jack Wheelchair.
And Cork. I like him.
Oh yeah, he's nice. Daniels.
Yeah. And Josh King,
Begovic.
Striker. Ooh, that's right. They have Begovic now. You know what? I'm putting my money on Bournemouth.
Let's go with Cherries. We'll go Bournemouth. Everton Stoke. That should be a good game though.
They've got to go with Everton.
Wayne Rooney.
He's back.
They got Wayne Rooney. He is back.
They also have David Klaassen.
They got Davies. They got what's his
name? Tom
Davies,
the youngster.
Oh, that guy looks so.
I really like him. He's such an old school.
He looks such 80s football.
I know, man. I love it. I love it. So I'm rooting for Everton here.
Yeah. I mean, and the goalkeeper. You have Pickford, right?
Yeah, Pickford is a really good young goalkeeper.
I mean, £30 million, like, for his age, for a goalkeeper. I mean, but that's the market, which
the market is just getting worse.
Yeah, I mean, the market just got pretty insane. So, yeah, we'll go with Everton on that one. Chelsea, Burnley. Chelsea. Like, I know they don't have Eden Hazard. There's speculations about he might be going to Real Madrid or Barcelona. But yeah, I mean, Burnley's one of those teams. They had a great, like, strong year at home last year. They were like, I think they only lost like a couple games at home. Like they had a great statistic at playing at home, and they were just a good, strong defensive team. Like literally, like put 11 men behind the box. Like,
but yeah, I think that Chelsea's going to win this game no matter what. I think they just have the weapons that Burnley doesn't and will not have for the next 15, 20 years. Moving on to Crystal Palace versus Huddersfield. I know
I can't wait to watch this one. Crystal Palace, Huddersfield. I mean, I do want to check out the new teams in the Prem.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see how. I mean, is this Huddersfield's first time in the Premier League? I think it is, right?
I think so, too.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I love seeing new teams in the Premier League. I love kicking out teams that have been there for too long, who've just been lingering, who've been hanging on by a thread.
Swansea?
Crystal Palace. Anyway, I guess I don't even know who I go with here. I'll just do Crystal Palace.
I'm gonna go with Huddersfield.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Starts off the Premier League strong.
Yep, let's go Huddersfield.
Now this next team. First off, cheers, mine. Poor Brighton. I'm so sorry, Brighton. You come into the Premier League with bright, shiny smiles, big faces, big eyes, and you face Man City.
But what if they upset him? What if the Brighton team somehow can upset Pep's system?
I just don't see it happening. Like, some people are like, oh yeah, I mean, I could totally see the Jets upsetting the Patriots. There's no way Man City loses this game. I say it's a blowout. I say Man City wins by at least 3 goals, 3-0. That's my score predictor. Jesus, this is going to be
bad. I think it's going to be real bad. I think I'll go with at least 3. I'd even see them scoring 4 or 5. I mean, it depends how badly City comes out and really wants to play.
You just look at this lineup. You got David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Sané, Bernardo Silva, which God knows where he's going to be fit in, Aguero, Yaya Toure,
Baby J,
Gabriel Jesus. Their bench is out of this world. Then you have Kyle Walker, Mendy. Again, we've always spoken about Mendy and John Stones. What are we going to do about those knuckleheads?
But it's still a terrifying squad.
It's and I'm excited to see this new goalkeeper. I want to see if they've actually fixed their goalkeeper
I want to see. They spent a lot of money on this guy, and he's played in the Portuguese league for the past couple years. He's very unproven in real competition, so I'm very interested to see why they picked this guy and didn't try and develop Claudio Bravo.
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see. But poor Brighton. I'm holding out for you. my heart is with you, Brighton. I wish you best of luck when you go on those beaches of Dunkirk and you face those evils. And anyway,
Brighton,
survive, Brighton. And then Newcastle Spurs. I'm gonna say my upset of the weekend. I'm gonna say Newcastle upset Spurs.
Really?
I think the loss of Kyle Walker, the dismay of the recent Danny Rose news, who won that.
I don't like that.
Can we talk about how Pochettino is secretly St. Patrick in disguise, getting rid of all the snakes in his camp, ridding North London of snakes?
He is, man. He's getting rid of everyone who doesn't fully commit to this team, and I love it. I am okay with it.
I think Pochettino may be the best manager in the league, next to Antonio Conte. You can make arguments for Jose Mourinho, Pep, but I think
all these guys are proved managers. Poch hasn't won anything.
I mean, but he's Spurs.
He is Spurs.
Lads, it's Spurs. Wise words by Sir Alex Ferguson. But that's my upset. I think that's my upset of the weekend. I'm gonna go with Newcastle. I mean, Harry Kane could come out and score a hat trick. Anything's possible. But I'll throw out Newcastle. I mean, you have an experienced coach at Newcastle.
That's true. On that note, Rafa Benitez, I really hope you lose this game. I think the Spurs are going to crush them. I think it's going to be 3-4-1. I think Harry Kane, Dele Alli, Christian Eriksen are about to go off on Newcastle.
Ooh, Martin, I just thought of something. 2 years ago, the last game Newcastle played in the Premier League, they beat Tottenham for like 5-0.
That's true, yeah.
So Spurs may be out for some serious revenge because Newcastle beat them, Arsenal went into second place.
That's right.
And St. Tottenham Day was celebrated. So I could see Tottenham out for some blood. I could see Rafa Benitez really cool. trying to solidify that going from Real Madrid to Newcastle wasn't a step down, which obviously it was.
Keep yourself, Rafa.
Yeah, but yeah, let's move on to the last game of the weekend. Man United versus West Ham. What do you got, Martin?
I don't have a lot of confidence in United. I think they are the better team on paper. It will just come to the game day, and if we actually play like we can. Because West Ham, whether I'd like to admit it or not, really solidified their squad this year. This transfer season, they got Chichi, they got Joe Hart, and they got Jose Font. And I think that's a really good backbone of the team. However, I think we have better players in every single position. I think we have a better coach. It just comes down to the fact whether we won it or not. We also are pretty poor against West Ham in the past. But I think we'll be able to scrape out with a win. I say 2-1, 1-0. I think it'll be a typical Jose Mourinho win. Yeah,
I'm going to go with United on this one. I think Lukaku scores. Yeah. I think gets everyone really excited. I think Pogba plays really well.
I hope he does. I
think he's been answering a lot of critics. And I think he plays really well. I think Matic really allows him to go and roam and do what we saw him at Juventus do. Do well. That's why he got signed that crazy amount of money. Is because the Pogba we saw last year was not the Pogba we saw at Juventus. Because I think he was being played not where he had, or he didn't have that holding midfielders to give him that support, allow him to roam and be free in that left attacking midfielder area. You know what I mean?
And that's where he plays best. He plays best when he doesn't have that position where he has to be in, where he has to track back. And I think that's why the acquisition of Matic is really going to help him and Manchester United out, because he doesn't have to really worry about his defensive responsibilities with Ander Herrera and Matic flanking him, which we touched on last week. So yeah, I think we'll win. I think it'll be a little tense, but I think we'll be able to come up with a win. I'm confident in our attack, not so confident in our defense.
So no sad Jose Mourinho conferences afterwards.
I think if he loses, he'll just lose his mind.
I think I don't know. I mean, those are I look forward to those a lot.
They're back.
Yeah, they're definitely back. So yeah, those are our predictions for the weekend. Let's move on to grading transfers. Who do we think? I mean, this is just going to be not only in the Premier League. We're going to speak about who do we think did around the world. Who did best around in each league? So, Martin, who's your personal favorite in terms of who did the best in the transfer window? I know it's not over. It still has another 2 weeks.
It has 16 days.
16 days. Okay.
Okay, this is going to sound weird, but this does come from the heart. I think I really think Tottenham did the best. I am not a fan of players leaving clubs, and I'm not a fan of players leaving clubs, especially for big money and promises of silverware. I really like how Tottenham is growing everyone on that team. And you know what? Like we said before, Poch is getting the snakes out. And I'm really excited to see Tottenham. If Tottenham can win the league, or at least plays better than 99% of the other teams, and haven't signed a single person, I still think that they're going to sign Ross Barkley, which I think is going to be a fantastic signing. But I think Tottenham's idea of growing their players from within is really, really something that a lot of teams are not doing anymore. In terms of who did the best in signing players, I would have to say...
So yeah, are you going to answer the question now? Or are you gonna
now I got it. I just had to put in my spiel about loyalty and football is dead at the end of the era.
Yeah, chivalry's dead.
Chivalry's dead.
Yes.
World's done. In terms of transfers, it's got to be City. City got the most players. They got the best.
Are you saying
players
that? So not only in the Premier League, are you saying that just around the league,
Yeah.
around the world, just City in general? Okay.
In terms of who's going to do the best in Europe after this transfer window, I think it's definitely City. I think they beat out AC Milan, because I still don't think AC Milan can advance far in the Champions League. I think they beat out Manchester United because we, as proven in the Super Cup, we can't beat the best. So I think City did the best. What about you?
Honestly, like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I think this was a softball question, Martin. PSG, they crushed. They got Neymar. That easily has to be the best transfer. You literally, like, signed LeBron James. Like, you signed one of the top 3 players in the world. I understand a lot of teams filled a lot of areas, but I mean, getting a superstar first, I think, is case in point. I think PSG solidified themselves as at least a top 5, if not lower team. I would even put them in the top 3. I would put it would be like Real Madrid, Bayern, PSG, Barcelona, Juventus. I know I'm gonna get a lot. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that, but this is my opinion. I'm an idiot. That's what I'm saying is I think PSG crushed it. I think
They
you look at
signed
that
one
team,
player.
and it has a significant impact. I think PSG was good. Now they're great, just based on this player. I give it to PSG.
We haven't even seen him play yet. He can't even play 2 weekends in.
We have a resume of what he's done.
We have a resume on Barcelona with Neymar and Suarez leading the line. Cavani and Di Maria.
I'm just saying, I think that was just the best deal of the entire transfer window.
So who's going to go farther in the Champions League, PSG or City?
Ooh, PSG.
Yeah?
I would definitely...
Depending on the draw.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a mixed bag. I mean, you can have Real Madrid, like 2 years ago, literally played no one, made it to the final. I mean, it's who you get put in front of you.
So who wins the head-to-head, PSG or Man City?
Oh, PSG.
No.
You were
I
to
say
pick
Man
City?
City. Absolutely.
Oh, man, no, I pick PSG.
Yeah. We shall see, hopefully. That'd be really cool.
Oh, that would be an amazing matchup. I really want to see PSG versus Barcelona. Honestly, I just really want to watch PSG.
I really want to see Neymar.
I want to see Neymar. Like, as much as I hated this transfer, I love this transfer. It's given us so much to talk about, and I can't be upset because literally this transfer window was rather boring. This made it literally the craziest thing next to possible nuclear war. I think this is the best thing that could have happened to world football.
I gotta agree that it definitely enhanced the popularity of world football. But like I said before, I don't agree with the transfer.
Yeah, but...
And finally, we're just going to touch on this new rule that the English FA is putting into effect this season. I read about this rule a couple weeks ago, and I think it's such a great idea. It's targeting diving, and it's targeting diving in the penalty box. And basically what happens is that every single time someone dives or someone is fouled in the box, it will go to a review. And it allows pundits and it allows analysts to retrospectively punish a player for diving. And
I believe it's a referee, a former manager, and a former player.
Yep.
So that is a tribunal.
Yes.
You have a tribunal that will review this. It is some official shit they're doing in the English FA, and I love it.
I do too. I think it's going to really crack down on diving because it's getting more and more of a problem. And the really great thing about this is, like Kevin said, the tribunal is all going to be independent. So the ex-player, ex-ref, ex-coach, they're all going to be separate from each other when they review to see if a player dived, and they will be able to award a yellow card or a red card. I think it's a 2-match ban.
It is a 2-match ban, but I did like that it is only happens if a penalty is awarded.
Yes.
So if a player does dive and nothing happens, there's no punishment for the
Right.
player.
And that's
so I
so
think
smart.
That's
like
fair.
that.
That's very fair. And I love that. I think it's great. And there's another stereotype that, like, oh, English football is so tough. Compare it to, like, Spanish, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga. They all dive in those other frivolous, like, stupid leagues. Every league does it. I don't want to hear it. I saw a ton of... we both mostly watch English Premier League. I saw tons of stupid dives. And there's the argument, like, oh, it's part of the game, like, get away with it. It's not part of the game. I don't want to hear that, like, oh, like, he won a penalty. No, he manipulated a referee into getting a goal for his team, which is wrong. I think that is wrong.
Okay, I'm going to offer a slightly different view on this. I think if you're caught, fess up. Don't say, no, I thought the contact was coming. No, I thought I was going to get hit. Just fess up. But you know what? I do agree to some aspect. It is part of the game. Gaming the ref is part of the game. But I'm really glad they're actually taking action against this, quote-unquote, gaming the game and saying, yeah, you can try. Go ahead. You want to try and win this way? Go ahead and we'll punish you. So I'm a fan of this. I really think it's going to cut down on some of the more flamboyant, for lack of a better word, dives and some of the ridiculousness that happens in the box.
The LeBron James dives.
The LeBron James
dives of the Premier League.
Oh, yes.
Well, thank you very much for checking out our pod today. We hit on some pretty cool stuff. And, the Premier League starts tomorrow! Yeah! It is time, Martin.
All right.
Please.
One more night.
Oh, it's less than 24 hours.
Till drinking and soccer is back.
Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you for your constant support. We're going to try and get on iTunes soon. This is only our 3rd episode, so we're waiting to get a couple more. And I think we're going to be posting like a new symbol that we made on clip art. So that's pretty.
It looks pretty
it's decent.
Kindergarten. It looks like a kindergartner made
it. It's us. We're some tech idiots. So
yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much, and have a good night.